Hey there, everyone. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, your host for The Night Sky this week. Welcome. Great of you to join. Today is November 27th, 2023. And here we are on a Monday. We had a great weekend. Did you see the beautiful full moon last night? I'd love to hear if you got a chance to see it. Maybe you took a photo. Do share your comments below and where you are joining me from today. I'd always love to see where all my stargazing friends around the world, where you are. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. This is called, here in North America, it's called the beaver moon, because this is the time where this furry little mammal that lives in rivers and lakes here in North America and Canada, particularly where I am. This little animal builds a lodge out of wood and hibernates for the winter, basically goes away and tucks itself away when winter comes. And so November is traditionally that time of the year, and that's why the full moon is called the beaver moon for November. And you saw, if you were on my Facebook page, you saw I put out a post there, and that I said that the official timing for the full moon is at 4:16 a.m. today, Monday morning, November 27th. So it appears pretty much to the naked eye full on Sunday night, last night, according to this broadcast, as I'm broadcasting now on Monday. And Monday night, in the next few hours, or perhaps wherever you are around the world, it's darkening already, or it is dark, and the moon is up, it will appear practically, for all intents and purposes, full, because we're kind of sandwiched. The two nighttime periods are sandwiched for at least for myself here in Canada, between the time where it's official at 4:16 in the morning. So last night was good. Tonight's good. Go out to see it. The full moonrise, doesn't matter what it's named, who names it. A full moonrise is just gorgeous. So if you have a clear sky, it's a great photo opportunity. I've been sharing some photos on my Facebook page. Do check that out from around the world. There's one up, I just loved it, from Mexico with a mountaintop and the moon behind it. And then there's one from Greece as well, Philippines too. So do check that out. And I'll be posting more. If you have any, please do share them on my Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter as well. Love to see it, and I'll share as many as I can. So great to see folks. I see Mark from Alabama. I see Lindsay from Ireland. So nice of you to join us. For Jack from California, Santa Monica. Oh, I wish I was there. It's so cold here now. It's like, it goes down to like -6, 7 at night Celsius. So it's below freezing. And so it's pretty chilly. You have to make sure you feel comfortable. And if you are in a colder environment, you're gonna have to, if you want to do some good stargazing, you need to be comfortable. A lot of people don't think about comfort, but when the environment is not so pleasant on your skin, on your human body, and you're cold or you're overheated, it's important to make yourself as comfortable as possible. In certain seasons, there's even flies and mosquitoes and things that you need to keep that in mind about standing around outside or sitting and watching the stars. So without further ado, let's just jump in. This is the sky set up for November 27th, mid-latitude. So this is what the sky will look like from places like Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, Washington, New York, Boston, London, England, Rome, Tokyo, just to give you an idea. So they'll be oriented slightly different, but the same objects will be visible, just in a different orientation. And so this is the sunset, and right away you can see little old Mercury peeking up out of the glare of the sunset. So it's quite a challenge to see Mercury. I would say it is a big challenge, and binoculars would be your only hope to really see it in that glare. And it really, like within an hour, it's gone. So you only have a very short window. It's a big challenge right now. We're kind of waiting for Mercury to move away from the sun to really see it whenever we want to really get good views of the innermost planet. Also very interesting is, of course, if we go maybe an hour after sunset, you get darkness falls, and looking towards the south, you can't miss it. It's the brightest planet in that part of the sky. It is a planet, star-like object, the dot in the sky. It's yellow, very distinctive color. That's planet Saturn. And of course, if you have a small telescope, the rings of Saturn look amazing. Highly recommend it as well, if you can. So that's something will be very nice. Elaine from Victoria, British Columbia. Nice of you to join us. And Gina from Connecticut. Yes, it's overcast. I can see for you, but perhaps later this week. So there's always something. So just stay tuned. So this is the lay of the sky, how the sky is laid out for us tonight on Monday. And what I want you to notice, of course, is that moon. The moon is going to be extremely bright and glare once it rises soon after the sun sets. Within an hour after sunset, you'll see it rising in the east. And of course, with it will be Jupiter in the eastern sky right there. What you'll notice is that the moon is rising more towards the northern part of the sky, the most northern that it can rise this time of the year. You might be surprised at the positioning of the moonrise, but that's part of the cycle of the seasonal cycle as we're going through. This will be a very most northerly rise of the moon, and it'll be very close in to a bright star in Taurus. Look at that. That's Aldebaran. So look for this orange star. In fact, there's two stars it'll be sandwiched between. The closer of the two is Aldebaran, which is right about here. That's the eye of Taurus, the bull. This is the zodiacal constellation of Taurus. And there's the moon, as you can see. And then way over here on the other side of the moon is Capella. Capella is the lead star in the constellation Auriga. Auriga, right there. You can see that. And Capella is a star, a yellowish colored star, and it's about 43 light years away. So light takes 43 years from Capella to reach your eye. By the way, if you like this planetarium program, it's Sky Safari Pro. Love using Sky Safari Pro. They're my friends. A big advocate of their wonderful educational work as well with schools. So planetarium program here is showing us that the moon tonight, Monday, November 27th, will be sandwiched between these two brilliant orange colored stars. So look for that. And then if we look now we're going to go kind of one more day ahead to Tuesday. You can see here where the moon is just underneath the constellation Auriga, underneath Capella. So again, this is soon after darkness. This is on Tuesday. And if I kind of move it later at night, because the moon will go underneath the horizon. We don't want that. So if we just go later on at night. So this is around 8 o'clock, I would say, 8, 9, maybe 9 o'clock. Let's go there. And we see where the moon is on Tuesday. There it is. You'll see that there's this round circle here underneath the moon, right? This is a open cluster. It's a beautiful cluster. It's in the constellation Gemini, the twins, another zodiacal constellation. This is 3,000 light years away. And it's basically at the stars that represent, it's near the stars that represent the foot of one of the twins, the Gemini twins. You can see that right here in this planetarium program representation of that mythical character of Gemini for the constellation. It has two main stars, very bright stars, Castor and Pollux, and stay tuned for that because I'll show you where the moon goes with that. But the moon will be close to, and this is what I think would be a wonderful opportunity. He's using binoculars to scan underneath the moon, go down the sky, and you'll hit this beautiful star cluster called M35. M stands for Messier. And if you're not familiar with Messier, Charles Messier was a comet hunter, an astronomer, French astronomer from France, who specialized in hunting for comets. And in his search for comets, he came across a lot of beautiful star clusters, galaxies, gas clouds in the sky, and he numbered them. This is number 35 in his list of 110 that Charles Messier put together. And they represent some of the best, what we call deep sky object targets for backyard sky watchers. So if you're watching with binoculars and particularly with small backyard telescopes, this 110 objects in the Charles Messier list, the Messier catalog, is your first kind of foray into exploring the night sky beyond the naked eye with binoculars and telescopes. So this is a beautiful star cluster, 3,000 light years away. This is something that is just visible at 5 with the naked eye from a dark site. So if you're in the countryside, it'll look like a little fuzzy patch to the naked eye, but binoculars, it's an easy target. And so this Tuesday night, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, November 28th, the M35 cluster will be close to the moon. Really great opportunity. If I zoom out, if we move forward in time and we go to Wednesday, you can see on Wednesday, this is where the moon is going to form this kind of weird triangle, very flattened triangle with Castor and Pollux, the two Gemini twin stars. Really beautiful triangular formation. If we move over to Thursday, now the moon is going to be right next to Pollux. So all of this action, just so that you can see, is happening in the eastern horizon early in the evening. So this is around, what I'm showing you here is about close to 9 o'clock. Between 8 and 9 o'clock is when this is happening. And remember, wherever you're watching from, like Fazekas, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, you're in Qatar while Linda is in London, England, this is going to look slightly different, the orientation, the timing. But find the moon. You can't miss the moon, right? Even if you're a total beginner sky watcher and you're not familiar with sky, just look for the moon going up mid-evening and then look for those two stars next to it. This is just a beautiful way to begin just learning a little bit about the night sky using the moon as a guidepost. And the moon will be bright. Remember, it will be very bright. You might want to cover the moon with your thumb, perhaps, while you're watching it with the naked eye. But there is going to be Pollux and Castor. Look for those two stars from the Gemini constellation. Really, really cool to be able to see that. Now, if we go forward to Friday night, I'm just going to go a little bit later at night, say around 10 o'clock, right? So what are we going to see? There, the moon will now be in Cancer the Crab. So every night, the moon is rising later and later at night, and it's traveling through different zodiacal constellations. And in this, on Friday night, December 1st, we are actually in December, folks, last month of the year. Can't believe it already this week. So Friday night, the moon is going to be embedded within the crab, this cosmic crab, Cancer the Crab. And guess what? Another beautiful star cluster is going to be pairing up with the moon. This one's called the Beehive cluster. And if you've watched my programs, we come across the Beehive, off and on regularly. And the moon is, again, just a great guidepost for seeing it, for finding it. So if you're not following sky watching that intently, the moon is a great way. Yes, it's bright. Yes, it's not ideal, but it's a great way to find things. And take out those binoculars. This is what you'll see. This is 600 light years away, this cluster. This is what a photograph of it looks like through a telescope. Just absolutely beautiful. The Beehive cluster. This was seen by ancient Greek astronomers as well. It was actually visible to the naked eye, and it's one of the nearest open clusters to Earth at 610 light years away. In just this really interesting, I can see right here, it says that the Greek poet Eratos mentioned this object as the Little Mist in the year 260 BC. 260, so over 2,000 years ago, this was mentioned by a Greek poet. Isn't that amazing? And you can find it yourself. Again, this Friday, the Beehive cluster right there next to the moon. Doesn't get any better than that, folks. So check that out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, what else is there? If we continue going later, Okay, I'm going to push this up. You see there's Leo. So now we're talking near midnight. Okay, so near midnight, you see that the moon is rising each night. You can just watch it all throughout the overnight period, all week long, every night. It doesn't matter what time you go out, you'll see the moon in the overnight period. But what will be interesting is we go forward in time. This time now we're on Friday night. We go to Saturday. This is Saturday. Look, it's at the mouth of Leo the Lion constellation. Look at that. It looks like it's just going to grab onto it as a snack. The moon is a snack for this cosmic feline. And of course, Leo is known for its backwards question mark that is formed by these group of stars, marked, of course, by the brightest one is Regulus. It's 78 light years away. And look for that backwards question mark. Maybe use those binoculars. It's a great opportunity to cut down on that glare of the moon. Mind you, the moon is now almost in its last quarter phase here, so it is getting darker, the skies, even with the moon, so the glare doesn't bother you as much. But this is Saturday night. Look for that. It's going to be really, really nice to see that. And Sunday night as well. Look, Sunday, the moon, quarter moon is right next to Regulus, right close. It's a beautiful pairing. Look for that. I see Kale from Trinidad and Tobago. Beautiful skies you have, Kale. Watch for the moon and Regulus. Late night this Sunday, December 3rd is what you want to see. And Gina, I know, I can tell you're excited to see the beehive. It is beautiful. It's just, it looks like a bunch of diamonds scattered close in a pile. In your field of view of binoculars. Really worth seeing. And maybe, Kale, from Trinidad and Tobago, you'll be able to see that cluster with the naked eye as a little fuzzy patch because you don't have as much light pollution as some of us who are in North America around large cities. So again, depending on where you are, like Paul is in a desert in Arizona, Paul, you're in a great location to take advantage of your skies potentially to see with the naked eye that beautiful beehive cluster. So check that out. Now, one more thing, if we kind of go in the morning hours, wait for dawn to appear, and we're going to see, I'm going to go back to this Thursday. So I just wanted to show you, so those of you that do get up early in the morning, there is something you can see. Looking towards, let me see where it is. There's the moon. Where is it? There it is. So looking towards the southeast, okay, in the morning, you can see this is where the sun is rising. Again, this is Thursday. This is Thursday, November 11. I'll put the date there. You can see it. November 30th, this Thursday. Look for Venus, which of course, the second closest planet to the sun. Very, very bright. You cannot miss it. It's the brightest star-like object in the sky, period. And next to it will be a much fainter, but you can see it with the naked eye, a distinctly blue, beautiful blue gem of a star called Spica. And this star is the lead star in the constellation Virgo, the maiden. And this star is, believe it or not, 250 light years away, and it's going to be right there next to Venus. A gorgeous pairing. Again, this is Thursday morning. I would say be out there an hour before sunrise, a half hour before sunrise, and you'll clearly see this pair. If you wait a little longer than that, Spica will disappear in the glow of daylight. So that's something that you should keep in mind when you're doing all this stuff. Well, guys, if you're interested in finding out more and you're maybe looking for a holiday gift, I've got you covered. I've got my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky, best-selling book on Amazon. It's considered ranked for last few years as one of the top backyard guides to the sky. It makes a great gift. It's a soft cover, so you can take it and travel. It's great for beginners and intermediate astronomers. You want to learn about telescopes, binoculars, all that's in there. And I'm selling signed editions, personally dedicated. I'm doing these with my stock of books that I have, and I'm selling them internationally. I'll put links to where you can find that. And I'm also selling signed personal editions of the Stargazers Atlas. This is a huge coffee table book, 6.5 pounds. Also, personally dedicated, signed, doing international sales. I'll put links in the comments after the show. I still have some stock, so if you're interested in making gift ideas for the holidays, these are unique signed copies of my books. So maybe that would be something of interest. Hey, listen, I hope you found value to this show, and do some good for me, please, by sharing it, liking it, and of course, subscribing to my channel, whether it's YouTube or Facebook. Please do subscribe. It means a lot. It allows me to bring these videos every week into your home, and I carefully curate these different sky events for you, and I make sure that these are things that are visible around the world. People, no matter where you're living, you'll see some things every week in the choices that I make for you. And I'm here to answer questions as well, so do type away if you have anything. I love to see what you guys are up to. If you're taking pictures, share them. So do all that good stuff. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you stay safe and healthy as usual. And of course, I wish all of you clear skies. Until the next video, bye-bye.